my thoughts. I shut it down wherever power is stored. Being real is in the past, watching cowards get on. It ain't kill me, so it's making me stronger. And these bite-sized rappers now sensing my...
What the hell's going on, people? This is Periodic, and you see the title of the video. We are jumping back into Dragonball Z Dokkan Battle, and we're here to talk about the 6-year anniversary. Of course, for JP, it's coming out in just a few days. We're going to be, we're going to have a ton of announcements, live streams, Twitter posts, leaks, spoilers, all this stuff, right, coming out. And what we know right now is what we have in game, is the countdown campaign, officially at least, because we got some more information over on Twitter that we're going to go over. But first, let's actually look at what we got so far in the countdown campaign, because I haven't really covered it at all. So as you can see, we're currently in the countdown. So we're rolling out a countdown campaign for the upcoming 6th anniversary. During the 7 days, you can get Dragonstones and Celebration Summon tickets. Now, keep in mind, there are 3 different banners from what we've heard regarding this tickets and things like that. So number 1, it's the guaranteed minimum SR or SSR. So it's going to be guaranteed at least SR, no rares or normals on the banner. And then chance at LRs. Then you have the 66 ticket banner. Then you have another banner that has some kind of premium ticket is what they call it. So 3 ticket banners all together, which is pretty crazy. Stamina is going down to 3 minutes as per usual, and then you're going to get a ridiculous amount of events open. So that's very, very cool. And then this is it right here. So you can get up to 10 Dragonstones, which is not a big deal, because the big thing is login. Original login, or initial login, you get a lot of Dragonstones, and then a lot of celebration tickets, which is good. Comeback campaign, so this is pretty important, because currently 84,000 users have come back to the game, and so far that's 1, 2, 3, 4 Dragonstones, a bunch of training items, training locations, aged meat, and hidden potential orbs. Next up is 100k, which would be 2 Dragonstones, and then some Hercule statues and awakening medals, and then 150k, which is another 2 Dragonstones, Elder Kais, and what is this, some timeless hourglasses. And then typically with this, they'll have a EX stage, which is 200k. I don't know if they're going to hit that or not, because they have until, the 29th? So only just 3 more days? Can they double this in 3 more days? I don't know. Anyway, SNS campaign, as per usual, you don't even have to actually tweet something out or whatever. You can literally just click any of them and then go back, and it gives you the ticket. So Dokkan events, blah, 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 all that good stuff, right? So if you haven't been paying attention to the countdown, this is everything that's going on. So let's talk about now the leaks, and we have to go to the homie Cody, because Cody, in the past has been very good at pointing out good leaks and bad leaks, factual information and, kind of BS. So I have a good, I think he's got a good nose for what's right and what's wrong, right? And so I follow what he says pretty closely. And if we take a look here, he gives credit to the homies that helped him out, Merged and Markkanen, which I can never pronounce his name. I apologize if I get your name wrong. The Markkanen, I'm not sure. Anyway, so he goes, since we've given up on the video for revival skills, here's how they work. What's he talking about? Well, in the 6-year anniversary, there's going to be 2 new mechanics. Okay, number 1 is they're getting rid of the last 2 support item slots. And instead, they are putting support memories there. And a memory is essentially an item that works like a passive. You need a requirement for it to trigger, or at least like an active skill. You need a requirement for it to trigger. For example, 3rd turn, you're below 80% HP. The item memory will trigger automatically, and it will give you an effect. That effect could be extra attack. That effect could be extra defense, etc., etc. I've already covered that in one video. Here's number 2, the revival. And we didn't know what the heck that was. Like, wait a second, does that mean that if you get killed, you just come right back? How does that work? Well, let's take a look at how this works. So apparently what they were trying to do is they were trying to get it to work in game, but I guess they were having trouble with it, so they just never made the video for it. So anyway, they play an animation titled Battle _ 17001. Some of you might recognize this due to animation Battle _ 17000, which is the KO and death game over screen. So in case you don't know, pretty much everything in the game is coded to something. It has a line of code. That's what it's identified as. And so the end screen or the KO screen, when that thing triggers, that is the line of code. That is the trigger of it. Essentially, that's the file name of it, if that makes sense. Since it's closely tied to that, it's a variant. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So it would play on death. However, before anything shows up, meaning before the KO screen or anything like that shows up, there's a character cut-in that appears. Kind of like when you super attack and then you have that cut-in that shows up. Then the animation plays, okay? So it'd be your screen dims from death, then it plays the cut-in instead of the KO, and then you revive. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. This, I think, no one's really paying attention to or just kind of glossing over. Bosses can use and disable revive. They can use it and they can disable your revive. So you can kill the boss, or at least you think, and then boom, revival skill kicks in, the boss is back, and then you kill him for good. Or you think your revival skill is going to work, and just how some bosses cancel dodge, where you cannot dodge, or get rid of stun, or things of that nature, bosses are able to cancel revive as well, disable it. That is massive. So it is not just an OP ability being brought into the game. Revival skills use a counter. Revival skills use a counter to show the buildup of the revival. So it's not just as simple as you die and you revive. You have to build up for it. This is very similar to a character's rage mechanic, a boss's rage mechanic. In the actual game itself, in terms of what you do to control that, it would be similar, I guess, to Dokkan mode, where you build it up on the bottom until you eventually get to Dokkan mode. So this is going to be the same thing. You build up this revival bar, and then when you have the chance to use it, it uses, right? It gets used. Once a revival skill activates, it can change the entire card art. Such as adding a Pikkon to a Goku and Vegeta card in front to represent the save has been used. So not only is this just like a get out of jail free card, essentially, where you die and you come back, no, it changes the art of the card. So I'm guessing certain characters will not have a transformation mechanic. They'll have a revival mechanic depending on the situation. So let's just say if a character comes in to save another character, perfect example, quick example actually, is how Vegeta saves 10 million people in every single, Dragon Ball Z movie, and he has the awesome entrance, right? It could be a Goku from the Android 13 movie, base form, getting saved by Vegeta. That's the revival skill, and then Vegeta is now on the card art. Or it could be Trunks, facing off against the Space Pirates in the BoJack movie, and then Vegeta showing up to save him, and now Vegeta's on the card art. It's very fascinating, right? With this, the entirety of the card file can be changed, as well as the card background folder for it, meaning the art can be completely changed down to a quote. Down to the quote. Essentially, the entire art will change, very similar to a transformation mechanic, where you go from one card art to another card art. You can preview the card costume and the scouter of the card on a banner. So it's saying that, just like transformation, you can go into like growth or whatever progression and switch to the other one, switch to the new one. With this, some characters, an example would be Blue Evolution Vegeta, could have, after receiving 10 attacks, Revival can be activated. meaning that's the stipulation for the revival. That's what fills up the bar. And the art would change from cracked armor to shirtless, okay? Cracked armor to shirtless. Revival skills act like counters in that it happens during the battle part of the game, not the beginning or end of a turn. Revivals can be a transformation, but don't have to be. They, however, cannot deal damage. The type has spaces for the animation like counters. So that is a lot to digest, okay? Essentially, they're going to work like an active skill that happens automatically. And it may or may not change the character, but it will 100% save you. So I think what'll happen is you'll start seeing in the beginning simple, revives, and that's it. And eventually you'll just see this kind of take over transformations instead. Because I think some revivals will because if you think about it, something like Cell, right? You have Cell blow up and then come back as Perfect Cell. That's his revival. Now, what's interesting is it's going to be a lot rarer to trigger because you literally have to die unless if the difficulty of Dokkan Battle is going to increase so much that these are going to be needed and you'll be seeing them constantly. I have no idea, but I can't wait to find out. And if you want to find out with me, don't forget to join the club. If you want to go the big boy route and enter the Boomer Club, become a Boomer champion, join the Boomer Elite, jump down below, click that blue button, join the ranks of Chris Gonzalez, join the ranks of Wolverine Gaming, and if you want to do it the free-to-play way, it's all good, baby. Gently rub that sub button, gingerly ring that bell button, lovingly kiss the like button. As always, this is Periodic. See y'all in the next video.